Life is busy and crowded. Constant messages, advertisements, texts, emails, problems, phone calls, things to learn, another social media platform, the endless tyranny of the to-do list, work, relationships. It can all get rather shouty and lead to a lack of perspective and serious overwhelm. Your mind can whirl and lose its ability to switch off. This loud mind can cause insomnia, stress, and a distorted perspective, and, if left unchecked for long enough, manifest as persistent anxiety and burnout. Not only does living in overwhelm and distraction disrupt our daily well-being, but it also seriously hinders our chances of success. It's no secret that the key to success is focus. If we are snarled up in a maelstrom of insignificant, useless busyness and continual firefighting, it hampers, or at the very least slows down and limits, our chances of fully realizing our dreams. So how to not only survive but thrive in a world where we are drowning in information, yet, far too often, starving for peace of mind and clarity? Well, we have to learn to ignore much more whatever isn't useful, helpful, important, or fails to make us happy. This is not to suggest we live in some ignorant, self-absorbed bubble where we shudder down to the very real pain and crisis in the world and do nothing. More that we are much more mindfully selective in that which we allow into our consciousness to hijack our finite resources of time and energy. Learning to ignore what is unimportant is actually a high self-value move, as you are prioritizing yourself. You are setting a firm but loving intention for yourself that you will not be buffeted around like a rudderless ship by others' whims, desires, dramas, and distractions. Prioritizing yourself and your energy isn't selfish, it is vital. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and the less use you are to yourself, ultimately, the less you are to others. By ensuring that you take care of yourself first, you are able to support others from a genuine place that isn't marred by a feeling of resentful exhaustion or irritated guilt. The benefits of mastering the art of ignoring or selective focusing are immense. Having a less noisy mind allows the subconscious to communicate more clearly to you important intuitions and richer understandings of situations. Less mental noise equals greater well-being and productivity. When your mind is quiet, it can produce solutions and see wider patterns within your life so that you can learn to act from a place of deeper efficacy. What's not to love? Yet knowing why we need to ignore is not enough. We also need to get clear on what we need to ignore. And to that end, here's my top 6. The endless stream of celebrity minutiae. Sure, it can be interesting once in a while and a bit of lighthearted relief to switch off into a bit of escapism, but this stuff has got massively out of hand. It is designed to be horribly addictive, and before you know it, you've lost hours to some kind of trashophile internet vortex, and you emerge dazed and confused with little idea of why you did it. But with an in-depth knowledge of how to achieve Kim K's waistline in under 21 days, or a sneaking suspicion that Taylor Swift probably wouldn't want you in her squad. How many more toxic, shaming, yo-yoing weight loss and botched lip filler headlines can we actually stomach? Paging Captain. Obvious with this one, but ignore it relentlessly. The compulsion to compare yourself to others. Get ruthless with yourself on the compare and despair. We live in an abundant universe. One person's success does not detract from you. Realizing the potential of yours. Use envy as a window into a desire, not a reason to deflate like a balloon in the presence of others who are where you would like to be. What other people might think of you? Unless they are in your immediate circle, chances are they probably don't spend much time thinking about you at all. Of course, it is human nature to want to be liked and accepted, but not to the detriment of living in a self-constructed people-pleasing prison. Again, it is helpful to talk to and get the opinion and advice of others, not, however, if it is as at the expense of your own intuition. Even if others are thinking of you, just as you are entitled to think whatever you want, so too are they. What others think of you cannot change who you are or what you are worth, unless you allow it to. Nobody will ever be as invested in your life as you. Only you know what is best for you, and that entails learning from your own choices, taking responsibility for them, and if you do fail, at least you can learn from it full-heartedly. As opposed to blaming another, this is your life to live, and ultimately you are the person who needs to approve of your own choices. View others' confirmation as an additional bonus. Everyone else's endless stuff. I'm talking about drama here, of which there is also an abundance in the world, which is very easy to get sucked into and depleted by. Sometimes people don't want to change their situation, they just want to talk about it endlessly. There is a stark difference between this and the genuine support of others in life. Therefore, it's important to pay attention to how you feel after spending time in an individual's company, and if you are continually drained, it's a red flag from your subconscious that this situation is costing too much. In the words of Jeff Brown, boundaries. Don't leave home without them. Your old stories about yourself. We actually fear what has already happened. Your subconscious is your inner protector and works on a once-bitten, forever-shy basis, so it can be really helpful to do the necessary inner work to let go of the old stories and accompanying negative self-belief. It is also useful to acknowledge that whilst you cannot change what has already happened, you are stronger and wiser as a result of having survived these challenges. The benefits of looking forward rather than back, of focusing on what you do want to happen and how you can support yourself in that, are enormous. With the 2020 vision of hindsight, we can see that often when we thought things were falling apart, they were actually falling into place. Build your trust in yourself and do what you need to do to kick that negative self-image to the curb for good. The stuff you are powerless over. Concerns can be split into 3 categories. Firstly, the things you are in control of, i.e., what you choose to consume, who you choose to spend time with, what you choose to spend your time doing. Secondly, the things you have some influence over, such as a team decision at work. And thirdly, the things you are powerless over, e.g., someone else's behavior. Spending too much time trying to control rather than influence, category 2, or any time trying to control, category 3, is nothing short of crazy-making. Conserve your time and energy for what you can change. Don't force anything. Allow others their own growth trajectory by staying in your own business as much as you can. Do what you can to the best of your ability, then allow it to be. Do this, and you will reap dividends. The most powerful way to make a change in the world is to start with yourself and move outwards from there. In essence, learning to ignore what is not important is all about you deeply supporting yourself and allowing you to cleave to deeper well-being and peace. It's about you creating space to access your own highly individual blueprint for success and live the most magnificent life possible. I will end with a quote by the indomitable Bruce Lee, who sums it up flawlessly. It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials to your success.